You're going to want to stop doing this sooner than later because I know that you're posting every day, you're showing up on stories, and you're being consistent. But your workshops and maybe your programs aren't feeling the way you like. And it feels like you're maybe shouting to the void. Raise your hand. Well, today I'm breaking down the 5 mistakes or 5 shifts that's keeping your wellness business a little bit stuck, maybe feeling like crickets on social media, and what to do instead. Today is your day to shift and to start anew. So think of mistakes as opportunities. That's what I say in my world, because either you earn or you learn. And when we feel like we're spiraling into a place of not being sure or doubting ourselves, which it's happened to me before, and I'm sure it's happened to you, well, there's always time to rein it back. So are you ready? Let's go. Mistake number 1, or commonality number 1, is that there's just random content with no direction. And let me tell you why this happens. First of all, I was a yoga teacher and I taught meditation. I taught mantra. I taught pranayama. I taught inversions. I taught Thai massage. I did a health coach training based on Ayurveda, then into the next certification. So when we have all these different skill sets, you almost get to the point of like, well, what do I share about? So this is the first thing that we want to do, is create core connection, is really dive into what's called like your signature style, signature system that fuses everything you do. And then from there, we avoid posting yoga asana one day, healthy meal the next day. We avoid sharing the breathing tip, because not only are you spinning yourself crazy, but guess what? The viewer isn't really sure how you can help them or what. And here's the craziness is people need repetition. Think of the algorithm. Sometimes it shows, let's say I follow you for a month. It'll show me all your stuff consistently. And then all of a sudden it's going to show me somebody else. So we can't rely on algorithm. We have to rely on being consistent, but with depth. There's a concept of being horizontal that dilutes and a concept of being deep that creates impact. Because if you have confusion, you don't have sales. Number 2, there's no client journey built in. What does this mean? From a viewer to a buyer, there's many steps that happen, right? Many things that need to occur. Trust, awareness, connection, likability factor, but also things that happen on the back end. It's not just all forward facing. So what's happening? How are you designing the client journey? How are you moving people? If you want to think of the funnel or a pipeline, how are you moving people into your world? Are we keeping them on social media as viewers, or is there a clear invitation to step out of social media and into your ecosystem? Because you can't just post and hope somebody DMs you. You can't just post and hope somebody goes to link in your bio. And if there's no clear pathway from your post to application to a link to in theory, your premium program, then people are just binging tips, but never really move deeper because you didn't show them how and you didn't have the systems behind it. So this was engagement based, but it's still valid. So what happens is that we tend to avoid call to actions. So I spoke to somebody today, one of my clients, and she's like, Ari, I think my account is shadow banned. And I was like, girl, I open up your account and you'll have 3 business related posts and then influencer style posts. And then you have stuff about being a mom. And then I don't really know what's going on here. And regardless, even in the business posts, there's no clear direction. She's like, well, I heard that if you say comment or take this action, then Instagram's going to move you out of the algorithm favor. And I was like, yes, and that might happen if your posts are too promotional, but you're also not giving the opportunity for somebody to do the thing. This is why humans have rules, because we like to follow them. Even though I'm as much of a rebel as the next, when I see a stop sign, I do what? Stop. If there wasn't a stop sign there, I'd keep going. This is why we've been indoctrinated, red light, green light, yellow light, or to have accountability, because then it forces us to take some sort of action. So use this as an opportunity in your feed, in your posts, to give somebody the sign, to give them to open the door for the next step, because you never know, somebody might actually comment, or they might click, or they might share, but you have to tell them. So what happens now with all these comments and engagement that we're going for? Well, we need to create ease in our lives. And I'm all about systems because I like ease. Even when I had my yoga studio, the best thing that I did was create SOPs. I had a binder this thick, like 2 or 3 inches, full of how-tos. So that way I didn't depend on somebody coming in and just me having to teach them everything. So when you create automation in your business, especially when it comes to social media, let's say that like one of my clients who boosted a post. I'm not a big fan of boosting, but she did it anyways, and it actually gave her great results. She got 3 clients because she increased visibility. But what she didn't have was the automations. So she was like hand answering people, hand enrolling people. And I was like, hey, what if we did comment this word? And I actually have an ad going out right now that says comment retreat. And all of a sudden, things happen on the back end. People get stuff DM'd to them, people get comments, people get replies, and then I can, human touch, keep connecting with them through a voice note or whatever I feel like is right coherent with that. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do with these mistakes is change our behaviors. And the last thing, which is kind of like the hug to them all, is being generic and blending in. Because you can have all the automations, you can have all the systems, you can have all the right posting, you can have the client journey. But if your account is like, I don't know, vanilla ice cream, add some sprinkles, like add some pizzazz. This is why creating a brand and an authoritative brand is the key to success. I don't want to hire the yoga teacher. I want to hire the specialist. I don't want to hire the meditation teacher. I want to hire the meditation teacher for busy moms. So think about what you're doing inside of your brand in general, like from a 30-mile high view, and what that's giving people. Like, what is that perspective? What is that first glance? What is that impression? Because I don't want you to be like the 100,000 other wellness professionals out there, multi-passionate, multi-skilled, multi-talented, and blend in. We want to shine. And it doesn't mean wearing a shiny outfit. It literally means being unique and being specific. That's it. So when this keeps happening, what you don't want to be telling yourself is, well, I'm just not interesting enough, or maybe people don't want to do what I do, or like they don't want what I have. Maybe I'm not cut out for business. And these are the naysayers. This is the itty bitty shitty committee that lives in your head. If anybody here remembers the Muppets and like the peanut gallery, like we don't need that noise inside, the chitta. What we need is support, positive thinking. We need to have that phrase, I earn or I learn. And this applies to so many aspects of your business, but really is about, showing up as the authority, creating that credibility, letting people take that next step. It is that customer journey. And when we have authority-driven messaging, automation, and all these systems that support us, all this strategy behind it, your content will actually connect and land correctly versus feel like it's being like shouting into a void. So posting, you should get paid, but only if you do it with the right system behind it. So here's the challenge. Look at your last 5 posts and ask yourself, do they show authority? Does it have a CTA? Is there a point to the client journey? If not, it's time to shift it. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Drop a comment below and the word align if you want my free authority statement guide to get started.